this option and subject to, you're not going to be owner on a paperwork. So if in a subject to situation you're going to be on a paperwork, so somebody can pull records and see that you actually owner. In this case, they're not going to see it. So same person going to be the owner. The difference is we have an option to buy in a specific period of time. Okay, for example, scenario. We have a house and person has a lot of equity and they don't want to just give it out to you. Why would they? They can just reduce their price and sell it quick. But what they want to do, they want to sell it for like kind of fair market value, and for some reason they cannot find the buyer. Okay, because right now, for example, as it is right now, difficult to find the buyer. So we can come in, see that there is equity involved, and if they don't want to do subject to, so they don't want to give out property title to us, house for specific price for specific period of time. Let's say we're gonna lock with you deal today for 100,000, and we're gonna have option to buy for 3 years for this period of for this amount of money. What's good for us if market gonna appreciate 5%, 3%, 8%? It doesn't gonna affect us. We're gonna still buy for the same price. So actually, our equity gonna build up inside, okay, during this period of time. Now, why would somebody agree to sell it to you with this option? Why? Same reason. They have equity, they have some financial trouble, and they cannot cover it. So they just need to sell it. Or maybe sometimes they move it out, they need to sell quick. I mean, there is a lot of reasons why they would like to sell it quick. And we're actually going to discuss who is motivated seller, okay? So again, what's happening in this situation? We just coming in and we're locking the deal and we're telling them that we're going to buy for this amount of money. Sometimes they would ask you for down payment. Sometimes they don't. They just want to walk away. But making sure that they have some equity built in, and when we're going to buy it in 3 years, we're going to pay it off. Okay? So they're going to have good chunk of money, not chunk. Owner financing. Another great technique. What's happening in this case? If the property free and clear, usually this is the case. We can ask them to finance it to us. So they're gonna be our bank. And what's great about it, again, usually they don't check your credit history, they don't check, how much money in your bank account you have. It's much quicker to put the deal together. And there is a whole strategy to market specifically this market. And there is a lot of properties on the market. I would say, I was reading some article, 30% of whole properties in the whole United States is free and clear actually. Okay? So this is another market for us. If you're looking for, let's say, sign for sale, and you're calling them just to check maybe they're willing to, to sell it without kind of, and help us like to build our interest in it. We can ask them, would you owner finance it to us? Okay, and so they might tell you, I want a specific amount down and the rest of it I'm going to finance. It's possible. Now there is another situation when we can combine two techniques together. Let's say that there is equity in the house, but there is still mortgage. And what we can do, and they want some of the equity to get from us, but we don't have that kind of money. So what we can do is ask them, okay, there is a still mortgage 30,000 and we're going to pay it off. That's fine. But they want another 30,000, let's say total 60,000, right? But I'm going to teach you how to estimate what's the good amount to buy it for. Okay, 70% from market value, and we'll talk about it in the future more. But obviously you see that it's a good deal, but you want them to make it a little bit more sweet. You can tell them, okay, why wouldn't we do balloon on a note? And what is going to mean that we will give them their $30,000, but not today, in some period of time in the future, let's say 5 years period. So during this period of time, we can find tenant buyer who gonna live there and have an option to buy it, let's say in a 2-year period. I know it's kind of confusing a little bit right now probably, but we're gonna discuss it in details. This is how we actually structure deals. We find it on the terms, we sell it on the terms. And in some cases, we're not using our money at all. And I'm trying to do it right now more and more, simply because I don't want to use, either I don't want to use my money, or I don't have to use my money. We will talk more about what kind of money available. There is your personal money, there is a hard money, and there is a private money. We're going to talk about differences. We're going to talk how to find it. And I know a lot of techniques how to bring a private money investors, how to make them interested. And this is where still you're going to have a property and you're going to buy it, but you're not going to use your money at all. You're going to use private money and pay, let's say, 12% on this loan, but you can turn it quick and make a lot of profit on that as well. But we'll discuss it later, not today. Now we know kind of buying techniques. Let's talk about exit strategies. What can we do actually with the property when we bought it, one way or another way? Okay. These are some of the techniques which I came out with, and there is probably a few more. Buy and hold. This is regular word landlord. And it's a great strategy. We're going to discuss right now each of them in detail. Okay? Buy, repair, and sale. Rehabbing or flipping houses. Maybe you've heard this term, flipping houses. Buy and resell to another investor. It's wholesaling. And this is great opportunity for people who doesn't have, again, much money to create wealth. Find and flip. This is a little bit different. It's different from wholesale. This is where you can probably start. This is a good point to start. It's called bird dogging. Find the property, leads for real estate investors like me, and get paid referral fees. Advantages of each strategy. And we're going to talk about buy and hold. So what's going to happen? You're building cash flow over time, slowly but surely. Now another thing is appreciation. Probably the today markets, I don't know, landlords may say more, there is not such thing. Maybe on some properties there is. Principal payoff. If you have a mortgages or if you have some kind of financing involved, over the time, your tenant paying off obviously your property. Okay. Tax advantages. It's like whole different story, and we'll probably discuss it in the farther future. But there is a lot of advantages involved. I would say a lot of people who is still right now in a business, it's people who is landlords.
Buy and hold, that seems to be the
strategy.
The winning strategy, right?
Yeah. So buy and hold, definitely great techniques, definitely. Small problem for us, not enough money, right, to buy and buy and buy and buy. So we need to either combine or start with another techniques. But this is one of them, and I want to discuss it to make sure that we understand, we know that probably one of our goals at one day start buying and holding at least some of the properties which we work with. Now, disadvantage, tenants. Not that many landlords love tenants. And I mean,
yeah, all of them.
Yeah, all of landlords love. Well, some of them who is taking right care of the tenants, they love
Better
them.
than a vacancy, right?
Pardon me?
It's better than a vacancy, right?
Well, no, not really. A good tenant is better than a vacancy, but a vacancy is better than a bad tenant.
Yeah, really important to find
out the difference.
really important to find right tenant.